Welcome, everyone. I'm Dr. Raquel, and I am so glad you are here today. Excuse me. If you're joining us, chances are you're feeling the aftermath of a long year, maybe of holidays pushed you over the edge, or maybe you've been running on empty for months. You're exhausted, the sugar cravings are out of control, and no matter what you try, your body just won't cooperate. So here's what I want you to know. You're not broken. You're biochemically stuck. And in the next hour, I'm going to show you exactly why your body is holding on to weight, fatigue, and inflammation, and the proven protocol to release it all in just 28 days. So feel free to grab a notebook, get comfortable, and let's dive in. Also, feel free in the chat, which I'm not paying attention to, so I apologize for that. But if you get into the chat, and I will try and pull it up every now and then, feel free to comment where you're from, any questions that you might have. We're going to keep the speakers off for the meantime. We're going to make sure your phones are silenced and just give us full focus for this because you've signed up for this time. So allow yourself to have this time. So I'm Dr. Raquel, and my journey into this work is deeply personal. I started as a chiropractor, and I still am a chiropractor, but I started helping people get out of pain, improve their health. But about 15 years into my practice, my own health started failing, and I mean really failing. I remember taking my office manager on a walk one day to tell her how to sell the practice when I died, because I truly believed I was dying. My health was deteriorating. I had no answers, and the medical system kept telling me everything was normal, even though I felt anything but normal. So I went searching. I dove deep into functional nutrition and medicine, learning how to run comprehensive testing and to actually find the answers my doctors couldn't give me. I tested my hormones, my gut, my nutrients, my toxins, everything. And the first time, I could see what was actually breaking down in my body. I created protocols to nourish myself properly and address the root causes, not just mask the symptoms. And it worked. My health started turning around. But here's what I discovered. Even when I fixed the physical body, balanced my hormones, healed my gut, supported my liver, there was still something missing. I do great for a while, then fall back into old patterns of stress, self-sabotage, and pushing through. And I'm sure you guys have all been there, done something good, and then you fall back into the old habits. But that's when I found the final piece of the puzzle. NLP, timeline therapy, hypnosis, and quantum time healing techniques. This work addressed the unconscious patterns, the trapped emotions, the beliefs that had been driving my self-destructive behaviors. And that's when everything clicked. When I addressed all three pieces together, the physical body, the biochemistry, and the mental emotional patterns. That's when I became truly unstoppable. That's the Rocket method. It's what saved my life. And now is what I use to help driven women and men reverse their health issues so they can be unstoppable in their career, health, and life without having to choose between them. So here's what we're covering tonight. Here's what we're covering today at this noon hour, and I want you to read along with me because this is important. First, I'm going to reveal the three hidden weights that are keeping you stuck. And I want you to be clear, this isn't just about the number on the scale. These are weights you're carrying that you might not even realize. Second, I'm going to show you why your cravings and fatigue and weight gain are symptoms. They're not the actual problem. When you understand what's really happening underneath everything changes. Third, this is where I get fired up. I'm going to show you what your blood work reveals that your doctor isn't telling you. And I'll show real client examples so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Fourth, I'm going to walk you through the exact 28-day protocol to reset your body for 2026. Not a generic plan, a specific proven protocol. And finally, we're going to talk about how to release the emotional blocks that keep you from lasting change. Because you can reset your body all day long, but if you don't address what's happening in your mind, you end up right back where you started. These weights are invisible, but So raise your hand or type in the chat if any one of these sound like you. You're exhausted no matter how much you sleep. Sugar cravings hit around 3 p.m. or all day long. Your digestion is a mess. Your labs come back normal, but you feel terrible. You've gained weight despite doing everything. Brain fog makes it hard to focus. You feel anxious, overwhelmed, or on edge. You're tired of starting over every Monday. Yeah, I see you. And here's what's happening. Your body is carrying three hidden weights that have nothing to do with the number on the scale. These weights are invisible, but they're crushing your energy, your metabolism, and your hope. Let me show you what I mean. And this is the paradox I see every January. You've worked so hard all year, you've earned those holiday treats, and now you feel worse than ever, and you're beating yourself up about it. But here's the truth, this isn't about willpower, this isn't about discipline. This is about biology. Your body is responding to three very real, very physical burdens, and until we address them, nothing will change. So, the problem, the three hidden weights you are carrying. So, hidden weight number one, the weight of stress. So, let's start with stress because this is a weight most men and women don't even realize that they're carrying. When you're in chronic stress, and let's be honest, you are, your body releases cortisol constantly. Cortisol is supposed to be a short term survival hormone. But for you, it's been running the show for months, maybe years. Here's what that does it tells your body we're in danger, store fat. Don't let go of anything. It disrupts your sleep so you wake up exhausted. It messes with your blood sugar so you crave sugar all day. And it shuts down your digestion so you're bloated and constipated. This isn't in your head, this is biochemistry. Your nervous system is stuck in fight or flight. And until we calm that down, nothing else will work. The hidden weight number two. Now let's talk about sugar, because I know you're thinking, if I could just stop eating sugar, everything would be fine. But here's what's actually happening. Your sugar cravings are a symptom. They're your body's desperate attempt to get energy when your cells aren't working properly. When your blood sugar spikes and crashes all day long, which it does when you're stressed, when your hormones are off, when your gut is inflamed, your body screams for a quick energy, for quick energy. That's sugar. That's caffeine too. You're not weak. You're not lacking discipline. Your biochemistry is broken. And here's the kicker. The more you try to white knuckle it through your cravings, the worse it gets. Because restriction triggers more stress, more cortisol, more cravings. It's a vicious cycle. And you can see this. You got your fatigue and your stress. You go up and down, up and woof. Da. So as you are tired, you go and grab that latte sugar caffeine, you get up on your sugar high, then we crash. And you're like, oh man, I need some caffeine and sugar to get through my afternoon. You go up and we start crashing. You do a little bit more and you fatigue and you crash and you stress. And then, because you put your body on a roller coaster, it's starting to go back up at night, which makes it hard to sleep. So, hidden weight number three, the weight of toxins. And this is the golden one. And now the weight most people never talk about toxins. We live in a toxic world. It's in our water, it's in our food, our cleaning products, our makeup, our furniture, and your body has to process all of it. When your liver gets overwhelmed, which it is if you're stressed and eating sugar, it can't properly detoxify. So the body does something brilliant. Your body holds on to the weight for protection. It stores these toxins in your fat cells to keep them away from your vital organs. This is protective. This is smart. But here's the problem. Now your body won't let go of that fat because releasing it would release toxins back into your system. This is why you eat perfectly and exercise and still not lose weight. Your body is literally protecting you. And in my clients' labs, I see this all the time. Elevated liver enzymes, inflammation markers, all pointing to toxin burden. These are all different. You got your food that's being chemically done, all the different chemicals, the lotions, the makeup, everything you're putting on your skin. And here's what it does in your body. These toxins, so when you're detox or you're healthier, usually you don't have as many toxins in your body. But what'll happen is as you put more of that in your body, as you get exposed to more of it, you get filled up. And as it gets filled up, your body has to store more fat to accommodate all of it. Because if you just go on a regular diet and you lose weight, all of this becomes concentrated. It would be like this becoming full of that. And then you become very toxic and very sick if you don't get rid of the toxins while you shed your weight. So then it becomes a vicious cycle. So then what do? You rebound, you get back over to here once you lose your weight. And this becomes that vicious cycle that you go through. So what we need to do is get rid of the toxins so we can get you back into a state of health. So here's the thing. These three weights don't exist in isolation. They create a vicious cycle. Stress drives sugar cravings. Sugar creates inflammation. Inflammation overwhelms your liver. Your liver can't detoxify. Toxins get stored as fat. Fat triggers more inflammation. All of it creates more stress. This is why every diet you've tried has failed. This is why just eat less and move more does not work. You're not addressing the root cause. You're fighting biochemistry with willpower, and biochemistry always wins. So I want to have you look at this graph a little bit. We have hidden stress imbalances. These are things that we just talked about, all that stress, the toxins, the sugar, the life that is happening to you. And when you don't do things to start balancing this out and taking care of it, it will cascade into other areas of your life. That's where you start feeling tired and broken down and fatigued, and you got constipation or diarrhea, and you got brain fog, and you're just feeling like a piece of crap. And you're like, is this what life is all about? What that did was it created metabolic chaos. That means your entire metabolic system, your entire body is all over the crazy place. And this causes some serious dysfunction as you continue down this cascade, which will then lead to getting a diagnosis of a dis-ease or some type of cancer or other certain specific worse thing, like even an autoimmune disease. We need to start taking care of it up here, taking care of that hidden stress. That's what this first part is all about. Start addressing this first part, these first things, so you don't even have to worry about all of this. But for those of you who are down here, we got a little bit of different work that we have to do for you. But this program, irregardless that we're going to be talking about, is going to hit and nail all of this for you. So symptoms are the result of stress and imbalances. It's not the problem. The symptoms are only the tip of the iceberg. It's all these hidden stressors, all the toxins, the sugar, the caffeine, the stress that you have in your body, the mental, emotional, physical stress that are on here. So treating symptoms only leads to worsening of the underlying autoimmune disease. All you're doing is chipping away at this. This is just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So examples of chronic stress-related dysfunction are adrenal issues, poor nutrient breakdown and absorption, dysbiosis, gut malfunction, sluggish liver, detoxification issues, biotoxins, biofilms, bacteria, and yeast overgrowth, antioxidant imbalances, hormone dynamics, inflammation, immunodeficiency, and so much more. So the evidence, what your blood work actually reveals. So let's go over some case studies. Let's talk a little bit about what this is about. What's the difference between functional blood work and the traditional medical system's blood work? How do we read it differently? What does it mean for you? So this is where I get fired up because I can't tell you how many men and women have come to me with normal labs, but they feel like garbage. Your doctor looks at your labs and says everything is fine because you're not dying. I mean, here's the thing. The traditional medical labs, you have to be so far off on their number scales for something to show up. They're looking for a dis-ease. They're looking for you to be so far down that past one that we just looked at for them to create a diagnosis so they can give you a drug. Functional medicine is quite different. We're going to look at your labs. We're looking for dysfunction. We're looking for healing opportunities. I'm not looking for you to already have a dis-ease. And you may come to me with already a dis-ease and you're frustrated and you want a different opportunity. You want to heal naturally. You want to be back in control of your life. And this is how you do it. So the translation is it's what's breaking down and how to fix it. I'm going to look at your thyroid, your liver, your blood sugar, your inflammation markers, your hormones, and I see a completely different story. And that story usually shows exactly what we just talked about: stress, sugar dysregulation, and toxic burden. So let me show you what I mean with real client examples. But first, I'm going to show you the difference between regular medical labs and my traditional medical labs. So these, they will just give you numbers. They've got the standard range for what they feel the number should be in, the reference range for diagnosis. And then you see that, maybe it looks all pretty normal. When you look at the standard blood work, no, this is the same one that was over here. These are just identical, just transferred into the system. Here's the standard range what the medical system looks at. I want optimal range. Do you want to be optimal or do you want to be standard? Optimal means you actually have true health. So this is a more different little bit number system. A lot of times it's narrower. It might be higher and it might be lower than what the traditional system is. As you can see, just even with glucose and hemoglobin A1C, it's a very different story between them. There's shorter markers in there. So then you look at the person and you get to look and see what are they doing. And then you get to see before and after and how they're improving and how they're shifting and how they're changing. And so this is what I do with my clients. So here's one. I have Jolene. Her goal was just she wanted to improve her fitness. She was already working out and she just knew things were off, but she just needed to feel like she just had some constipation, she had headaches, she had fatigue in the morning, she lacked her motivation, and she had body aches and pains, and she wanted to feel better. So we ran her labs and she had quite a bit off. Her glucose was off, her phosphorus was off, her vitamin D levels, her ferritin, which was creating inflammation. She was storing iron in her body. Her liver wasn't decreasing that, wasn't working how it's supposed to. Her vitamin D levels were really low. And what we found as we worked with her, we saw her glucose get back under control. Her hemoglobin actually still stay low. So she has a little bit more of a low sugar issue. So we're working on that with her. And we're working on also that we had, her ferritin decrease. So we're seeing her liver is starting to clean up or starting to reduce that inflammation in her body because her ferritin is releasing. She still has uh, her triglycerides are starting to come up. She's getting better because they were kind of low. Here's the kicker. Even though she was 185 and 181, it's still good, but you need cholesterol to have your hormones working. And if you don't have your cholesterol working and the right one's doing the right thing, then you're not going to be able to produce your hormones how you need to produce your hormones. So as you can see, we had a lot of good things. Her fibrinogen decrease went from a high to back to normal range. She dropped over 70 points. Fibrinogen is the blood clotting that can cause lots of health issues along with death and heart attack and stroke. And it's been known to increase due to COVID. So let's go into a blood sugar case. So we have Jackie. And Jackie's blood sugar chaos, she had 107. So even in the medical system, that was considered high. But in the traditional medical system, that was really high. She had also a high A1C and she had symptoms. She wasn't feeling great. She was overweight. She hadn't been below 200 and I think she said it was over a decade. I think she's been 220, 240 for a good part of her time. She had a lot of cravings and weight gain, and she had a lot of inflammation and pain and a lot of issues going on. But within 4 weeks after doing she did the 30-day metabolic reset. After 4 weeks, her A1C came down to 5.7. Her fasting glucose came down to 87. She lost 20 pounds. There was no more cravings. She had steady energy. And she's already noticed that she's just like, I'm not going back to the way I was. And she is feeling amazing. She's continually losing weight. She's continually working on things. And now let's talk about another person. This one was really overly concerned about her liver. She had fatty liver and she had a lot of other health issues and she wanted to have some help with it. So we started working, and she had, as you can see down here, we have a lot of high inflammation markers in that, and inflammation and in the liver, things not working. Her sugars were high. Her body just wasn't working how it needed to work for her. So before, she was really high in a lot of this stuff. As you can see, she had fatigue, brain fog, she couldn't lose weight. And her doctor just kind of said, maybe you're just drinking too much, or maybe, we need to just keep putting you on more medication so we can try and get this under control. And she was frustrated with that. So we put her on her 28-day program. And after 4 weeks, we got her GGT down from 310 to 101. That's huge. That's a huge inflammatory marker. Her liver enzymes went back into normal. Her LDH became back into normal, I believe, right here. Her glucose went down to 93, 99 to 93. Her A1C dropped zero point 0.2 pounds. That's huge in a matter of 4 weeks. She had gigantic, huge shifts and changes. She felt much better, lost 10 pounds. Her energy improved. She stopped craving sugars. She felt much better. So here's what I find patterns over and over in my practice, and the medical system misses them because they're looking for dis-ease, not dysfunction. But by the time the markers are out of range, you've been suffering for years. So this is why I always recommend complete blood work as part of any reset program, because you deserve to know what's happening inside your body, not guessing, not wondering, knowing. And then we can create a targeted protocol to fix it. Speaking of which, let's talk about the solution. So we're going to talk about the Rock and Reset, your 28-day protocol to release the weight. So this is the roadmap. So week 1, we're going to do work on food foundation. We're going to learn to nourish your body properly. You're going to learn just to focus on that. We're also going to meet. We're going to have a 45-minute clarity call. During that call, you and I are going to meet, and we're going to go over what your health issue is, what your goals are, what blood work or any other labs that you need to run so that you have a clear picture on how to heal. And then we're going to start putting that together, and you're going to start working on just the food foundation. Then the next 2 weeks is the part where the winter detox comes in. So I have a program in there that's going to be designed because right now we're in winter in the Northern Hemisphere. And during this time, we need to know like what organs are resetting, what nutrients do you need extra, how to work with it. So we're going to have that in there. Plus, there is additional week 2 and 3 if you choose not to participate in the winter detox part of it. There is another week 2 and 3 information in there that it is there for you, both programs, so that you can continually work on. This is something that you're always going to have access to. You're always going to continue to be able to work on it and relook at this. And then we have week 4, the holistic blueprint. So you're going to take everything you learned from these 2 weeks, this week, plus the extra 2 weeks that are in there. And we're going to create your holistic blueprint going forward. And it ties it all to get together. All right. So in the Rock and Reset, this is going to be a program for you. And in this program, we're going to have 4 weekly modules with handouts and guidance. Your winter detox edition. You already have 4 weeks of the other one, but then you're getting a bonus with the winter detox. So your bonus is the winter detox. So you can follow the winter detox. You can follow them both. You can look at, because there's a lot of great information in both, all of it. Then you're going to have your weekly group coaching calls for support and Q&A. You're going to have one private 45-minute call with me to make your path custom with clarity. We're going to have a food and symptom checker to monitor your progress. There's a private community support. You're not doing this alone. There's daily recipe ideas with grocery lists and a complete meal guidance for all 28 days. So this is all being created and taken from, I ran a 30-day metabolic reset last year. And you have complete access to that if you want to do that. But I had a lot of people ask for more guidance, more recipes, more handheld type stuff. So this program is being created from what people asked that they needed for, in addition to what they already had. So this is not a diet. This is a complete restoration protocol. So we're going to customize your reset. So this is a general program,
But in your 45-minute clarity call, which we're going to do right away, prior to starting January 23rd, if you can get your call set in, otherwise within 5 days of that first call, so within the first week, within the days leading up to it and before it, so that we can actually custom make your 28-day program. So there's a general program, but we're going to custom make. So each of you is going to have your own little tweaks and things that you may need to do that's right for you. Where we're going to review your health history. We're going to determine your health goal, your goals that you want to achieve. We're going to determine what supplements, if you need them, and which ones are going to be right for you. We're going to determine if you need labs and which labs and in what order to do everything so that we can find your root cause of your health issues so you can heal from the inside out. This is a customized program for you for the first 28 days of your health journey. Now, here's where I want to get real with you. The reset is powerful. It will clear your body, break your cravings, give you energy, help you lose weight. But here's what I know after 20 plus years in practice. Physical transformation without mental transformation doesn't last because you have unconscious patterns, beliefs about yourself, emotions you've been carrying for years, ways of thinking that you are stuck. And if we don't address those, you'll reset your body. And then 6 months later, you'll be right back where you started. This is why I created the Burnout Breakthrough Intensive. So my 3-day Burnout Breakthrough Intensive is going to be the last weekend of January 30th, 31st, and February 1st, where we are going to release the blocks keeping you stuck. And this is where we're going to go deep. It's not surface level positive thinking workshop. This is advanced therapeutic work using NLP, timeline therapy, and breakthrough techniques to release unconscious patterns that have been running your life. We're going to address the blocks in 3 areas of your health, your career, and your life balance. Because I know you're a high achiever. You've spent your whole life pushing, performing, proving, and somewhere along the way, you learn to sacrifice your health for your success, or your success for your health, or both for everyone else's approval. This intensive releases those patterns at the root. We're clear limiting beliefs. We're going to release the trapped emotions, and we're going to create a new empowered identity. This is a small group, only 12 people, and it's in person because it's in person in Boston because this level of work requires presence and safety. And here's the beautiful part. When you do the reset and the breakthrough together, you transform both your mind and your body. That's when lasting change happens. So let me share what past clients have experienced. I've had people lose up to 18 pounds in 28 days, but more importantly, I lost the constant anxiety about food and my body. The breakthrough work changed everything. My A1C went from 5.7 to 5.2. My energy is back and I finally feel like myself again. The reset gave me my physical health back. The breakthrough gave me my life back. Releasing the negative emotions helped me heal my anger from losing my mom. And as I worked on my thyroid doing the quantum healing, I'm feeling so much happier, in charge of my life, and at peace with my mom's passing. I feel so much lighter after the releasing of negative emotions, and it's so much easier to get my work done. I'm sleeping better, no more nightmares. I feel really good and have lost 20 pounds. I love the new way of eating because I have energy now. My goal was to get my liver enzymes under control without meds, and I did that in 30 days. I also have more energy, and I don't crave chocolate and sugar anymore. I have fun back in my life. I feel lighter, happier, and more fulfilled. I have energy and do not need as much thyroid meds anymore. These women did the work, both the physical reset and the mental breakthrough, and they didn't just lose weight, they found freedom. So, the Rock and Reset Winter Edition. What the program is, it's a 45-minute clarity call with me. This is where we're going to learn, we're going to dive deep into who and what you're going through and create a custom plan. There's going to be weekly group meetings, support, Q&A, accountability. There's recipe guides, both omnivore and vegan. Weekly menu ideas with grocery lists, community support chat, HIPAA compliant. Weekly guides plus winter guide and many other bonuses. We're going to upgrade your experience during that clarity call. So if you need supplements, custom for your body, functional blood work, hormones, toxins, gut tests, etc., add-on, and then the breakthrough retreat. So now let me talk about the piece that makes all this permanent, the burnout, breakthrough, intensive. This is happening January 31st, 30th, 31st, and February 1st in Boston, Wisconsin. And this is a perfect time, and it's right after week 1 of your reset. So your body is already going to start shifting, and now you're going to shift your mind. This is 3 days deep breakthrough work using advanced modalities, NLP, timeline, hypnosis, and quantum time technique. This is the same work that I completed, that completed my transformation when I realized I couldn't just fix my body. I had to address the unconscious patterns driving my behaviors. We're going to release the blocks in 3 critical areas. Like we talked about before, your health, your career, your life balance. We're going to work on the all or nothing thinking, the negative body image that keeps you stuck in cycles of starting and stopping. Your career, the playing small, the people pleasing, the imposter syndrome that holds you back from success you're capable of. And your life balance, the guilt when you put yourself first, that perfectionism that's exhausting you, the chronic overwhelm that makes you feel like you're always behind. And again, this is limited to only 12 people. So your investment is, if you combine it with the breakthrough and the reset, is $495. If you want to do the breakthrough alone, it's $495. And after January 20th, the regular price of the breakthrough is $995. And it is limited to 12 people. But if you decide you want to bring a friend, you can bring a friend for $100. You're just going to have to let me know so I can make sure that there's room and I can add that person in for you. So I have a question. Where do you want to be in 4 weeks from now? Do you want to be exactly where you are now? Tired, frustrated, stuck in the same patterns? Or do you want to be free? Free from the cravings, free from the exhaustion, free from the weight, both physical and emotional. Free to show up as a powerful and healthy, vibrant woman. Vibrant, healthy person you're meant to be. That's what's possible in 28 days. But you have to make the choice. And you have to make it now. Because the reset starts January 23rd. And the breakthrough has limited space. So the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and expecting different results. We all know that one, right? So you ready for change? Are you ready to get different results? If you do, you got to change, got to shift. When you get caught in that cycle of trial and error, there's a lot of information out there. It can be hard to decipher through it all. I mean, yes, you can do this alone. You can sit there, spin your wheels, looking for constant information, trying new things, and end up in the same cycle, keep going and repeating things. But you've already heard the stories of people shifting and changing, so why not you? So how to join, ready for your fresh start, scan the QR code with your phone. And I'm also going to add this in the chat as soon as I can figure out how to get to the chat. Aha, I found the chat. And now I got to find my link. There we go. And I have the link in there. So feel free to pick and join that link. And I will see you on the other side. If you have any questions, you can stay on and we will go over some of those questions. And just remember, when you scan this QR code link, what we're going to be looking at, and actually, I will take you there so that you will know exactly how it works. And I'll make sure it works, right? So you put that link in there, you go to it, it's going to take you to here. And in here, hold on. So in here, once you put that link in, you're going to get to this. This is just kind of going over, this is the Rock and Reset journey, the Rock and Reset, the Rock and Breakthrough Retreat, and then doing it together. So it kind of goes over things. So if you want the reset and the retreat, I've already got the price down to $495. You do not need to put in anything else. And this is the reset and the retreat for $4.95. This is a limited time. And if you want to add your friend in for $100 into the retreat, please reach out to me. I believe I will put my phone number in there, and also in an email I'll be sending out the replay. I will have my number and how to contact me. You can reply back to in my emails and let me know. So I do is just click on the I want in on that reset, and it's going to have it all there. I do, if I recall correctly. So you're going to put in your information, and then you're going to put that in. Now I do, and you don't have to worry about a coupon code because there is no coupon code. So I just automatically put the price. You don't even have to stress about that. You just put in your information, and that's that. Now, let's go back. So now we're going to go down here and say you want to do the winter, just the reset. You can do that. You purchase that. That's going to be the same concept here. Right here, it's already set for that time. So you can get till January 20th to get all these done. And if you just want the breakthrough, the retreat is right here. All you have to do is click on that, hit next, and then go over that, and then that you're paying in full. I do have this one. Because I had it for when it's the higher price being drawn out. So I will go in and change that. If you do happen to need a payment plan, you can feel free to let me know, and I will get a payment plan set up for you. So if you do need a payment plan, please reach out to me, and we can discuss that concept for you. All right, so I am going to end this as I can figure out how.